说中文。
ChinesePod, ChinesePod, ChinesePod. That's the way to learn Chinese. ChinesePod, ChinesePod, ChinesePod. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hello, newbies. I'm Ken Carroll.
Hello, I'm Jenny.
We are ChinesePod.
Yes.
And Jenny, would you tell us something about today's lesson?
Oh, we're talking about plastic bags.
Plastic bags.
Now, that's something very small, but a huge development in China.
It's true.
Yeah, since this year, supermarkets and stores now charge plastic bags.
Fantastic move. What a great move. What an effective way, I think, to
reduce the use of plastic bags.
Exactly, because certainly in my case, you know, when I'm going in on my way to work to pick up some drinks or something like that, now I just put them in my bag that I'm carrying. I don't pick up those plastic bags. And my wife has stopped as well. And at home, we have a carrier bag as well.
Fabric shopping tote.
It's worked. So it's a new law that's came to China. And it is, I'm sure, reducing the amount of plastic going into the environment. But anyway, now we have a newbie lesson here. So if you've never learned Chinese, don't worry. We're not going to be talking about all that complexity. We're going to be talking about what happens when you're in the supermarket and the person working there asks you if you want a plastic bag or not.
To bag or not to bag?
To bag or not to bag. All right, let's have a listen. We'll come back and we'll explain it in detail for you.
Dialogue first time.
要袋子吗？
要，
2毛钱。
那不要了。
Second time.
要袋子吗？
要，
2毛钱。
那不要了。
Third time.
要袋子吗？
要，
2毛钱。
那不要了。
Well, I don't know if the man is cheap or being environmentally conscious, but the end result is good.
Yeah, the end result is good. He doesn't take the bag. But there's one thing just to make a note of it here. In that dialogue, the guy was speaking really fast. Right?
I think so too.
Really fast. And so what we're doing here is we're just giving you a natural sound. Now, you can hear it slowed down, and we'll slow it down for you also in the treatment. So that guy's like really fast. But it's very short, and it's very natural. So we decided to go with a faster version. All right. So why don't we do the translation?
要袋子吗？
Do you want a bag?
要袋子吗？
Do you want a bag?
要袋子吗？要
Yes.
要
Yes.
要2毛钱
That will be 2 mao.
2毛钱
2 mao.
2毛钱，那不要了，
Then I don't want it.
那不要了，
Oh, in that case, I don't need it.
那不要了。
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, the good thing about this policy, this move is no matter what the intention, the motivation is, the result is reduce the use of plastic bags.
Because what happens is it encourages the person working in the supermarket to ask that person, do you want a bag? Do you really want? You need to think about that.
And also in terms of raising public awareness, you know, if it's important enough to be made into a law, then people think it must be important.
Totally.
对。
Now let's look at the language because we can talk about the other side of it, I think, a little bit later because it's an interesting topic. But anyway, now the first sentence was a question.
要袋子吗？要袋子吗？
Now let's take it from the center because that's where the noun is.
袋子，袋子。
袋子.
对。
Now that sounds like a fourth tone and a neutral, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
Okay. 袋子. Yeah, remember the fourth falling tone. It's quite heavy. 袋子.
袋子。
And 袋子means
A bag.
bag. Not necessarily a
plastic bag.
Could be any kind of bag,
对。
but it's inferred, of course. Now, and the verb here is
要
and yao means to want.
Yes.
Right?
It's also a fourth tone.
It's also fourth.
要
Wow. So, do you want a bag?
要袋子吗？要袋子吗？
Now, at the end of the sentence, you got this ma, which is a particle, and that turns the sentence into a question.
对。
Yeah. So, literally translated is want bag, question mark?
Yes.
So, let's hear it.
要袋子吗？要 袋子吗?
Yeah. And if you wanted to say, want a bag, you just say,
要 You answer with the verb.
The same verb. So we'll do it together. Why don't you ask me the question?
要袋子吗? 要袋子吗? 要
So there you go. Do you want a bag? With that, yes, yao, meaning want, I want. Notice that you don't need a pronoun here, personal pronoun. You don't need to say 你要. You could say it, but you don't have to. It's inferred. All right, now, so he says yes. Now, again, these exchanges tend to be quick and tend to be sort of abbreviated in the supermarket because everybody is getting line.
It's all about speed.
Get it done, get moving on. And then she says...
2毛钱 2毛钱
2毛钱
对
Now, would you break this down for us?
Well, 2 means 2.
2. As in the number 2.
Yeah. 2毛 is the equivalent of 20 cents.
20 cents, yeah. A mao is 10 cents.
That's the unit, right? 2
Yeah.
毛.
That's right.
And 钱 means money.
Money.
And it's also how you say
Yes.
钱, money.
It means
currency.
literally money, but you indicate that it's currency. Now, one reason we do this is because Chinese is a monosyllabic type of breakdown in many ways. And so sometimes you need to throw in extra clues as to what. And with all those similar sounding,
single words.
You need to give a little bit more context.
Yes.
But that's the way it's said anyway. So 20 cents is
2毛钱 2毛钱
2毛钱. Now, literally translated, it would be 2 mao money.
Yes.
There you are. Interesting. And then he realized, I've got to pay for it. So he says,
那不要了 那不要了
Now, very, very interesting stuff here. Now, we won't overcomplicate it, but we will tell you some of what's going on here, right? The phrase, again, is, I don't want it. And let's hear it.
那不要了那不要了
Now, yao, once again, is want. And the negative form is
不要
不要.
不要
Do not want, right? She's asking the verb with yao. Now, if he wants it, he says yao. But if he says he doesn't want it, he says
不要
不要. However, he's filling in a little bit more context here. So he starts the sentence with
那
na. Fourth tone. That means...
In that case.
Well, in that case. Oh, well, if that's the way it
Yes.
is. I'm exaggerating, but that's what... Well, in that case, therefore...
不要了
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 Now, let's look at this again. So he says, 那不要. He could say, in that case, 不要meaning not want, but there's a la at the end, and that indicates
there's a change
somewhere.
in your mind. 对 a change of state.
Yeah. So don't get too hung up on the grammar of this because la is a tricky particle.
Yep.
But it'll come with practice. So in this case, what it indicates is the first time he said
要 and now you've changed your mind.
Yeah.
不要了
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 means it indicates that I'm changing from what I just
Yes.
said a moment ago. Isn't that subtle?
Very much so.
Yeah, it is. Yes. So all you have to remember, I'd say, this is why we try to build a little drama and a little bit of context around these things so you relate the language to the situation. It's better and easier as a mnemonic to relate language to grammatical rules, right? Because they're very hard to remember.
Yep.
So here you've got relating the language, the tones,
to situation.
the lexis, and the situation to the event that happens here. So remember, he changed his mind, so he says,
那不要了
in that case, I don't want it. All right. I'd like to talk about the environment very briefly after this, but let's listen to it 3 more times.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to ChinesePod Trivia. Our first question is, how long will it take you to become an intermediate Chinese speaker using the ChinesePod app? Is it A, the rest of your life? B, you should already be an intermediate speaker? C, 3 months? Or D, ChinesePod has an app?
You should already be in.
Ooh, that is incorrect. The correct answer is C, 3 months. That's right. Head over to ChinesePod.com now to register for your access to over 4,000 lessons. Get the ChinesePod app now on Google Play or the App Store.
Dialogue first time.
要袋子吗
要
？2毛钱。
那不要了
Second time.
要袋子吗
要。
2毛钱。
那不要了。
Third time.
要袋子吗？
要。
2毛钱。
那不要了。
Okay, I think this word just say no is a 那不要了. In that case, no. I think it's an interesting equivalent maybe there. But so my big thing is in plastic bags, definitely. But my big thing is water bottles as well. There are billions and billions and billions of those bottles produced in the States, in China as well. Like 50 billion alone, I think, in China every year.
And the scary thing is there doesn't seem to be any viable alternative right now.
Well, I think there are. You know, you got the big bottles, the recyclable bottles where they deliver it to you. And you've got those things you can put on your tap water at home. I've actually stopped buying water in bottles, so I don't want to upset people in the water business. But if you think about all those bottles and all of the energy and the oil and all of that and transportation that goes into producing that stuff.
Yeah, the carbon print.
It's not very and I'm not a raging sort of liberal sort of person, you know. I just I'm fairly centre conservative kind of person, but I think the environment stuff shouldn't be politicized. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, so I'm trying to do my little bit, and I don't want to put the water people out of business, but maybe they could think of alternatives too.
Yes.
Anyway, that's my little soapbox for today. The environment. We're dealing with the bags, and maybe there's other things we can do here in China.
ChinesePod, always a very rewarding experience.
I hope so. All right, well, we'll be back again tomorrow with another lesson.
对, in the meantime, take care, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
再见.
再见.
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number
1043.
So just go to www.chinesepod.com/1043 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/1043.